the candidate, of the party. So yes, I think I got some information as far as my own boss was concerned. I reached out to him, even before he was declared the winner of the election. He had already got it across to you. I know that he must have done that to other aspirants, of the party, which I think is good. So post-primary management, I think APC is ahead of both PDP and Labour Party.
Okay, let's maybe in winding down, look at all these movements that we had before the election. People who are pushing their, pardon the word, ethnic agenda. You have the AFEMA, you have the Asian movement, all of them. How will this, at the end of the day, based on the candidates who have emerged, affect the mood of these people who pushed for these things, I mean, for the governorship through their movements in the last 4 years? Will it have any impact on them in terms of, I mean, not achieving what they wanted?
Yes, if I remember very vividly, the push for ethnic agenda was more vociferous. The noise was more vociferous, on the side of my tribe, Edo Central. And it's understandable because Edo North under Oshomole had 8 years of governorship in the state, and Edo South, almost 16 years. Igbinedion was 8 years, and Obaseki 8 years. And if you do not shout in a situation like this, they will just bypass you. So I think that was why Esan, ethnic nationality, began to make noise, so that they will not be bypassed. If they are kept quiet, if they are not, done the needful, they will not be forgotten. So I think that was the strategy. Now, to God be the glory, we have 2 candidates from Edo Central. My only worry, my only, sadness is that, another strong candidate in mind from Edo South. Because if anything happens, I'm not very comfortable. And if you look at Olumide Akpata, people have been underrating him. He has a way of causing, positive disruptions, in political arrangements. He did that with the presidency of MBA. When he dismantled the culture of senior advocates, emerging as the president of MBA. He was not given any chance, but he did what he had to do. He mobilized, and he caused that positive disruption. He won the election. And I know that is what he's also trying to do in Edo State. He wants to cause a disruption of the political arrangement, And if he's underrated and is not properly checkmated, it could just emerge as the governor of Edo State by default. I keep saying it to people; they don't know what I'm talking about. Because all you need to do to win this election that's coming in Edo State is for you to connect with the youth. They have the numbers. Then get the women, empathize with them. But the only factor that both the APC, for instance, and PDP may have to cancel each other out is the factor of money. I don't know if Olumide has it's a money bag. I don't know if he had the kind of money that we need to deploy in Edo State to buy. But for APC with the federal might and Obaseki, who needs to get a successor in place, because you know that if he loses the election from day one, whoever comes in will begin a probe of his administration. So in fact, he's seeing it as a war. He has to battle it to make sure that he does not lose the election.
Yes, but let me ask on the final note. One of the worries of those who went into this movement, especially the one you refer to as your own ethnic tribe, that's the essence, was that those who actually subjected themselves to the wishes of that movement were not the ones who eventually emerged as representatives, though they have accepted them now. But I mean, from the onset, those who showed interest, about 16 or so of them who went through this process, came and talked, and most of them did not even have the opportunity of going through because of one thing or the other. But do you think that that balance can be, that settlement, so to say, can be achieved before the election?
You see, there's nothing they can do. A candidate he has emerged, they have to accept. But if you ask me, if you want to look at the capacity, you want to look at maybe the exposure, you want to look at the pedigree, the political pedigree of the aspirant that came out, to Josu for the ticket of APC from Edo Central, and you ask me to do a kind of ranking. Monday, will not come anywhere, near first, second, or third position, where you have Professor Osubo, who was governor for about 18 months, brilliant lawyer, experienced, exposed. He was in the Senate for 8 years, and you have all that. I think what did Mike even? I think Mike, former minister, he wanted to be, and there's so many of them like that from. But give it to Monday. Monday is in the Senate. From what I heard, and he also confirmed to me, he never wanted to go to Senate. But it was his people. In fact, he actually commissioned a search for somebody that could represent Edo Central in the Senate, the kind of representation that would be impactful, somebody who could bring dividend of democracy to the zone. They went round. He funded it himself. They went round. They didn't see anybody that was worthy of that assignment, and they had to beg him to step in. That was why he presented himself, and he won. But I also got to know from a source close to him that what he actually wanted from the outset was to be governor. So now he's going he had the ticket because he said he believed that, he has some things to offer. He had to change the narrative to see how the whole of Edo State can be developed, particularly, Edo Central, where if you go to Edo Central, you see the roads, they're terrible. We are almost cut off from civilization. So he's committed to that, to make sure that the roads are the road infrastructure is done. So the election has come, it has gone, it has emerged. You see that the others have accepted to work with him, to support him, and I think that is the spirit, So we give it to APC. None of them went to court to challenge Monday's emergence as the candidate of the party. So they have an edge over PDP and APC on that score. And Labour Party on that score.
Okay. Let me ask on the final note. As a son of the soil, if you are asked to pick among these leading candidates, who you will want to rule the state, who you believe has the pedigree. I know I'm trying to put you on the spot. Who you know that can deliver the most among them, who will you pick?
It is very difficult to predict, what a governor would do. A governor, somebody will come to you and say that if you vote for me, I will do this, I will do that. That is also the problem of the so-called godfather. When Oshomole was backing Obaseki, he never knew that Obaseki would turn out to be what he is today. He thought he would be able to control Obaseki, but it turned out that he couldn't do that. So it will be difficult to say that this is the person that will perform this. But if you look at the pedigree, if pedigrees speak to the future, then you can now begin to say, okay, actually Udalo, for instance, is a guru in public and private sector governance. You can say that the same thing maybe for Olumide Akpata, that in the private sector, he's very good. He's been a president of MBA. Then you now look at the APC candidate. Then you now ask question: Was he ever in government? No. Private sector, not really. He's a woman. He runs a woman business, and he has made a success of that. He has built his business into something that is humongous. Yeah, that is why he's able to fund his elections. He's able to fund, and he's funding his election, funding other people. So that will tell you the kind of success he has made from his business. So somebody was able to do that, and you now ask him to come and manage. Won't he be able to manage the resources of Edo State? He will. So it becomes difficult, But that is looking at, management of the public finance in Edo. But when you now try to manage the political expectations of the so-called godfather, people that have rallied behind you to win the election, then it becomes problematic. Because if he cannot meet the expectations of all these people, particularly pecuniary or selfish interest, then they begin to fight him. They will say he's a bad man. He's not doing anything. And that's the story of Obaseki. Because Obaseki he has beaten them to their own politics. They say Obaseki has not done anything. It's because Obaseki has not given them money. He has not opened them. They say he's eating the money alone. If Obaseki are the pander to the whims and caprices of the so-called political leaders that ensure that he became governor, perhaps it will have gotten a ticket for second term on the platform of APC. He would have got had to live for PDP, but he refused. So to that extent, to them, Obaseki has not done anything. Obaseki is clueless, So that is management of political expectations. It could not, for Obaseki, he was not ready to manage political expectations. He wanted to just, run with his administration, because he knows that at the end of the day, if anybody is going to describe that administration, it will be Obaseki administration. It will not be Osemele's administration. So he decided to just go ahead and do what he had to do, throwing all the other people under the bus to hell with you. And today it is Obaseki's administration. Whether he has done well in their estimation, he has not done well. But for people that work with him, they said he has done excellently. And I don't want to dispute that, because a government cannot come in and do all of the things that will need to be done on the state to fix all of the problems. It will only come and contribute its quota, take care of some things, and let others come behind and take care of others. So incrementally, governance will become something that is sustainable and something that you can see on ground. Oshomole came, it did roads, particularly in Edo North, and today you can still see the roads, fine roads. If you are in Edo State, go to Edo North. You will see the kind of road that Oshomole, roads that ends in bushes. So if any government comes now and he wants to continue, if there's going to be a kind of expansion of the local area, just continue with the road. The point he has talked, he has done well in Edo North. So I expect whoever is coming in 2024 to, I don't know where Obaseki will be letting off. Whatever has been his achievement, if there are things that can be sustained, they should continue with them, and let us see progress, development in Edo State. Government, they say, it's a continuum. It does not matter whether it is a APC government or PDP government. Government for the people in Edo State that will sustain democracy dividend, that will build growth, that will ensure that the health facilities, are working, that will ensure that, there's human capital development, and that people are proud to be, indigenous of Edo State. That's what we want in Edo State.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Talking Politics and Other Issues with Dr. Oladipo, Mr. Ojefo. Viewers, last 45 minutes or thereabouts, we have been speaking with one of the highest ranking political editors in the country. And he has given us an insight into what we are likely going to have in the upcoming election in September of this year in Edo State. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to have you back again before that election, especially very close to it when things have taken further shape. On that note, I'll be signing out until the next edition of Talking Politics with Dr. Oladipo. And I hope you will be there for us by liking, sharing, and returning to watch other editions of the program. I remain your host, Dr. Oladipo, the publisher, the Eagle Online.